All right. Here we go. Here we go. I love when there's tech issues. It just tests you, doesn't it? Oh my gosh. Hey guys. Welcome. It's Talk on Tuesday. How you guys doing? It's me, your host, Valarie Johnson. I'm so glad you guys are with me on this evening. Michael is on assignment right now, so you got me, but you will have him a little bit later. You will have him a little bit later. So that is, oh my gosh, I'm talking in several different areas. I don't know what happened. Anyway, welcome to Talk on Tuesdays, and I'm here to let you guys know what is going on. Hello, Amani. How are you doing? You join me. If you're here, let me know because we're going to be talking about some stuff. And then, of course, oh my gosh. The one really want to talk to you about, I'll get to it in a moment, but wow. How's your Tuesday going? Can you believe we're at the end of September, guys? We're at the end of September. It's over. Friday is October 1st. Friday. What are we going to do? Oh, good gracious. I'm a big fan of television, guys. I'm a huge fan of television. So I'm looking at what's getting ready to come on television, what's getting ready to show up on like the streaming services. So there's a lot of stuff. I do want to call out about three shows. Now, something that's premiering tonight is La Brea on NBC. Uh, if you are in LA, guys, if you're in Los Angeles, and there is a street called La Brea that I've driven on, I know about La Brea. Hello, as a tourist more so than a resident, but it's about a big sinkhole that happens and then the family that deals with it. And I'm thinking, I dealt with a real sinkhole in Brooklyn about 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know if I want to deal with a sinkhole in fantasy because that's what television is. Television is fantasy. Why are we bringing a sinkhole to real life? I don't know. La Brea, that premieres on NBC today. So you guys can check it out. And this is what's happening. Every network has something. If you missed the premiere, you can catch it on. If it's ABC, you can catch it on Hulu. If it's CBS, you can catch it on Paramount Plus. And I think NBC is Peacock. It's so many streaming services. Can you guys keep up? If you guys can tell me in the chat, which is your favorite streaming service? Now, a lot of people are going to go with Netflix, but think about it. The newer ones that have come out, because there are a lot of ones competing for your attention. They want you, the advertising dollars. They want you, but it's hilarious. I don't know. So that's coming on. A one that I missed from last week. Now I want to call this one out. It's called Our Kind of People. Has anyone heard this show? Oh my goodness. I see Mr. Springer in the chat. What's up? And BK Apologist. How you doing? I'm just excited to see you all. Brooklyn is definitely in the house. And oh good gracious. Oh yeah, the CW too. Okay, so Kevin was saying that the CW is popular. I totally get that. Well, Our Kind of People premieres on Fox. That premiered actually last week. It's kind of soap opera-y. That's what it is. I'm just gonna, if that's not your vein, if that's not your lane, you can skip it. But I believe the second episode comes on tonight, and oh my goodness, we got some named people on here. Nadine Ellis, Morris Chestnut, that's right, from Boys in the Hood, long time ago. You remember Morris Chestnut. Debbie Morgan, she is a veteran actress that I love. I would love to see anything she's in. I want to see. Yaya DaCosta. Now, I don't know if you all remember her. She got her start on America's Next Top Model, and she's been acting in what Chicago actors like to call the Wolf Pack. I got that terminology from a good friend of mine, Paulette. Dick Wolf has produced 3 shows they actually shoot here in Chicago. That's Chicago PD, Chicago Med, and I think Chicago Fire. You guys know about that one? Okay. Well, Yaya DaCosta, she had a reoccurring role and she got a permanent role, I believe, on Chicago Med. I don't know if she's still on there. I haven't been keeping up, but now she is kind of the diva who's inciting revenge on people, with our kind of people. I want to call this out because this is a show, a drama soap opera that was created by Karen Giss. I don't know if you recognize that name. She was a series writer on Girlfriends and House of Lies on Showtime, and then Revenge. You guys remember the ABC show Revenge? Probably didn't. I thought it was kind of cool. I see Amani Climb the Mountain is telling me that she likes Discover Plus. Has anyone seen anything on Discover Plus? I feel like that's a fancy way of saying Discover Channel. That's what I feel like that is. The Paramount Plus channel is a fancy way of saying the Paramount channel. I don't know. So everyone's dealing with their own streaming services. I understand that. But you guys remember this actress, Tasha Smith? She got her start or had been acting for a minute in Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married 1 and 2. And then she was in Tyler Perry's show called, let's take a look, For Better or Worse. For Better or Worse. Tasha Smith is a powerhouse actress. She also was on Empire as well. She directed the first episode of this new show, Our Kind of People. So it is Black excellence all over the place. Black women directors. I am so excited to see that. And just because there is a Black woman showrunner and because there are women directing in the background, I want to check it out. I might decide, hey, this might be too soap opera, but hey, if Dynasty and Falcon Crest and all the rest of those shows can last out, definitely we can do our soap opera situation. We there's a lot of shows that do stuff like that, but I love to see Black and brown people acting on these type of things. So that is what's up. So I just want to call out those shows. I think the other one I wanted to call out, I did La Brea. Oh, That Girl Lele. That's for kids. That's a preteen show. That's on Nickelodeon. And gosh, a very talented comedian. I don't have his name written down. I need to write down the name. He created this show and it's supposed to be very funny, but it's definitely for kids. So it's on Nickelodeon. That Girl Lele. That I think that started on yesterday on Nickelodeon. So I want to just call out those things, and there you go. So that's the fun stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. Now, this is when I'm going to need to talk to you all in the chat because I see that you're here. Thank you for joining me. Oh, Lord. The fall of Robert Kelly. We're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it. Gosh. Okay. According to the New York Times, Kelly was convicted on federal racketeering and sex trafficking charges for things that were happening for decades. And underage girls were solicited for sex. And he faces some very long time in prison. Don't quite understand. One of the prosecutors in the case stated in her closing argument that Kelly hired people to force them to keep quiet and blackmailed the victims with embarrassing information and pictures. I believe the Surviving R. Kelly documentary made prosecutors take a double take, and also the rising noise from the Mute R. Kelly campaign that started probably just before, well before the pandemic in 2018, 2019. And so Kelly's already served 2 years in prison and still faces charges in Illinois and Minnesota. Oh my gosh. Guys, what do we think about this? I'm taking a look over in the chat. Just let me know what you think. I'm so disappointed and disgusted. I can't say it. If Michael was here, you'd probably say the same thing. When someone comes from our hometown, you want to be proud of them. You want to, celebrate them. And I remember when Kelly hired one of my family members to be a keyboardist, and we were like, great, let's support him. He's a Chicago homeboy. He's from the South Side. He's up in Chicago. He's putting us on the map. This is great. And what are you doing? Why? So when I saw the Surviving R. Kelly documentary, because I had already kind of eased up from listening to R. Kelly years and years ago, but I saw that and I remember tossing out anywhere from 6 to 10 CDs, records from him, because I was thinking, I have I can't separate the art from the artist. Can you guys do that? Can you all separate the art from the artist? Yeah, at Mr. Springer's on, he says, I am shocked and saddened by his demise. But yeah, justice had to be served. Guys, do you believe that justice was served with this conviction? And here's my thing. Why did it take so long for it to happen? I don't understand. Hey, Ferdy, how you doing? Oh, thank you so much. I take all compliments. Humility is accepting the compliments and saying thank you, thank God. That's all. That's, you don't say, oh no, don't do that. No, we need encouragement. We all need encouragement. So that's how that goes. But yeah, so I'm very sad, and I agree with Kevin. Like, what was going on? And can you think of the songs that you liked? You can't like no more because of this demise. I like, there's music that I used to love listening to, and you're like, we even did a song. I don't know, you guys are, some of you all are there in New York in the chat. We did a song called Peace, and that was written by R. Kelly. Our gospel choir did a R. Kelly song at church. Do you know we would have not been doing no R. Kelly song in church if we knew what was going on behind the scenes? Do you know? Do you know? Yes. Oh boy. Yep. I agree. I definitely agree with Imani here. I'm sad it took so long. We need to take the red pill, the real pill. Yeah. And what's happening? You know what? That is a great question. What is happening with the people that helped R. Kelly with this decades long situation that happened? What's going to happen to them? I have no clue. I literally have no clue. Oh yeah, yeah. And here's Kevin. He's remembering one of the songs that was huge at every wedding, any party, definitely in Chicago. A Steppers classic, "Step in the Name of Love." I literally get off the dance floor now when it comes on. Like, DJs are like, "Well, we just love this song. We can't let it go." Well, I can let it go. Yeah, and Ferdy's saying it's a very sad situation. It is. It is such a talented writer, a talented musician could come up with the music at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and just. I think "Step in the Name of Love," according to a few people that work with him, said that yeah, that song came together in like 2 or 3 hours. It was really quick, huge hit. So Ugh, I'm so sad about this because I was such a huge fan of the music. I was a person that supported R. Kelly and loved his music. Supported any person that he sang with, Mary J. Blige, Lady Gaga. I'm telling you, the list goes on and on. He wrote a song for Michael Jackson. He revived the career of Ron Isley from the Isley Brothers, Kelly Price. The list goes on and on. But now he literally has to face prison time, and I'm talking extended prison time because he's been in prison for 2 years. But I don't know what's going to happen regarding the charges out of here, out of Chicago as well as Minnesota. But New York, you guys got him, and I think he's going to spend some time at Rikers. So that's not a good deal. But anyway, speaking about music, and we're going to flip it to a nice positive situation. Oh goodness, I see my friend Corey Brown's in. He said, I'm sure they turned on him. Definitely. Definitely. They definitely did. And I guess they had to, because they found out that they figured out, you know what, we're enabling this gentleman. We're enabling his bad behavior. Not good, not good, not good. But anyway, back to the music. Oh my gosh. The Fugees are coming back. Ah, How many people remember the musical group, the hip hop group, the Fugees? I remember them. Do you remember them? Oh, good gracious. Yet Pras Mitchell, Wyclef Jean, and the incomparable and the voice, Lauren Hill. You guys remember her, right? Oh my goodness. Well, after a 15-year of not touring and not doing anything on stage, I think the last time they appeared on something was in 2004. They haven't been on stage since then. Good gracious. Yeah, I know. I thank you so much for calling this out, Imani. Yes, the Fugees are from Jersey. Yes, they are. I love all my Jersey folks. That's right. And as Kevin says, ready or not, here they come. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that joint? Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. Oh my gosh, that was the joint. But before they even got going with that, they had a great first album. Vocab was one of their songs, as well as what was another song that they were known for? Nappy Heads. I just it I love this. Now, one thing that I found out about the Fugees in my research was that they started in the late 80s. And one of the members from Kool and the Gang actually was getting with them, and they had met in a high school of performing arts in Jersey, and was working together. And I don't know if you all remember, Lauren Hill appeared on, I think, the Apollo, and she did the song "Who's Loving You." You guys remember that? "Who's Loving You" on the Apollo, and she was singing, and they booed, but she did get through the song. So she had a voice then, and so, but who knew she could rhyme? I didn't know. I didn't know. And it made me more interested in Paz, and it had me more interested in Wyclef because of her. So it just, and I'm, like I said, I'm not a fan of remakes, but I believe Killing Me Softly, great remake by them. It's phenomenal. And you know what? I was just about to say that. Kevin, do you guys remember when Lauren Hill appeared on Sister Act 2? Not the first one, the second one with Whoopi Goldberg, and she actually was singing. Had braids in her hair, and she's just singing and doing her thing. This was all before the Fugees. They're at their first album, Blunted on Reality, released in 1994. They had started work on it in 1992, but hey, it's exciting. Now, Michael and I, we went ahead and we talked about it. We had some things we want to say about the Fugees. I'm gonna go ahead and show you what we were thinking when we were talking about the Fugees. Let me go ahead and put this up, and I'm gonna be chatting with you in the chat. So here we go. Let's take a look. Refugee.
Refugee. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's how Wyclef started the group, right? In 1986, one of the first early interviews that he had, well before they made any fame, he talked about the name of the group that, as a Haitian American, it was immigrants, but immigrants are always looking for refuge. And
Oh
really,
yeah.
all people, it's a universal thing. We're all looking for some kind of sanctuary or refuge. And so that name developed out of that idea, that concept of being an immigrant coming to America and being a refugee, the Fugees. And you had that representation in this group. You had a group that was culturally diverse at a time when hip hop was pretty narrow and not very interesting,
I,
actually.
let me jump in here. I do want to say that all three of the members of the Fugees
One,
are
two,
all
three.
Haitian. All three are Haitian American,
Let's go.
Haitian natural Haitian. The one thing that I was so impressed with when I first saw them, and this is going before the score, this is going on their first CD, Blunted on Reality. I was thinking, wow, I know the girl. Where do I know the girl? Didn't know the two men, didn't know Praz, didn't know Wyclef, but I was focused in on the girl. And I don't know, there was very few women that were trying to, there were very few women. You can name them on one hand. How many women kind of established
And they are.
themselves? The five, the women.
And are.
Okay, Queen Latifah,
Right.
MC Light,
Mhm.
Yo Yo,
Three.
three. Okay, Moni Love,
In the middle where she's at.
she's in the middle,
Uh,
and for that fifth one, oh, a group. But we're gonna go with a singular female rap artist. We're gonna go with Little Kim. Okay, I'll stick her in there because I feel like Little Kim came before. Hey, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I'd put her in there barely because she came after the surgence of rap in the late '80s, early '90s. She came 95, 96 after Biggie. Is my math off? Is my numbers off?
look,
Okay. A
not
little
whole,
bit. Oh,
but if you're talking about people that came in, I mean, I don't. You're talking about a certain time period.
when
Is that
they established when rap was starting to get its real push, and a lot of times a lot of the people that came from the late '70s or early '80s, a lot of folks were male. We started to see some female MCs, and they showed up in the late '80s and early '90s. And the four that come to mind are Queen
okay?
Latifah, MC Light, um, Yo Yo, and Moni Love. I
See, I
know
think,
there's more,
see,
but
yeah, I think that you and I are gonna have to. That's okay. I think it's okay to agree to disagree in hip hop. I think
okay.
the hip hop that you were getting was more
Hmm.
churchy hip hop, and I was getting the raw stuff. So I was hearing the kid. She was nasty. She was little. She had this whole kind of different attitude. You had Lil Kim, you had Foxy, and you had some of
I
these
remember Foxy. I remember when she first hit. I remember the song she came on with Jay Z. But not to get off on everybody else. Lauryn Hill was the standout to me in the Fugees, and I was pointing this out to you probably a night or two ago about Lauryn Hill. She came on at the age of 13 on the Apollo, and sang "Who's Loving You." Barely got through the song. She was booed, but then they started to clap for her as her voice was developing and all of that. But she had this big voice. You could tell she was nervous. And a lot of pop stars or people that got larger started off on these competition shows. Aaliyah was on Star Search and she didn't win, and there's other folks, but
like
Lauren was the standout. And I think the thing that stood out to me was that a lot of folks saw her in Sister Act 2 with Whoopi Goldberg. And this was before the Fugees hit. Am I correct, Michael?
oh sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Because I believe Sister Act 2 came out in 92, 93. Blended on Reality, that album was released in 94. And
Okay. So,
I
so
was just
here's
fascinated
where
with it.
we get a little bit technical on it, which I
Okay.
think is worth it.
Okay.
Uh, okay, you're right, absolutely. Blending on Reality released in '94. The group, the Fugees, record Blending on Reality though in '92.
All right.
So
2 years earlier.
at the time that no, this is significant. Here's the reason.
Hmm.
So at the time that Lauren goes in and is seen, in Sister Act 2, she's already in this hip hop group.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So everybody is looking at her like, oh, there's this singer, that girl from that movie, like
Hmm.
she just blew it away. She's amazing.
Hmm.
What a great singer. Well, that singer had a record contract already, but it wasn't for singing. You see my point here?
I got your point. I got
That
your point.
that movie kind of helped to, in a way, propel who they were. It gave them a visibility because she had visibility. Oh, that's the girl from Sister Act 2. Wait, she's rapping? She wasn't rapping in that movie. She was singing. Wait, she can wait. So the first time you hear Lauryn Hill, you talk about the Apollo, you talk about the Sister Act 2, she's singing. She's singing.
I was thinking she
And
was a
then,
singer. I'm thinking
right?
she's a singer.
That's
Yeah.
what you thought. She's a singer. Now, since I didn't see Sister Act 2 because they had Whoopi Goldberg in it, and I'm allergic to her.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
I saw this group, this song. Now their big hit, I guess, before the score and the incredible success of the score was the song, the Mona Lisa song, Nappy Heads. But that wasn't when I first saw them. I first saw them do this other song called Vocab, this video for Vocab. And it was so different. It didn't sound like any other hip hop at that time.
Yeah. So Michael and I were just kind of reminiscing about the we're reminiscing about the power of music and definitely what the Fugees meant to hip hop, our hip hop culture. And Lauryn just was one of those vocal beast. To me, she was a vocal beast out here. And if you guys have ever seen them in concert, let me know in the chat. I'd like to know. I believe Michael said that he saw them in 96, 97 here in Chicago at a place called Park West. If you guys are familiar with Chicago concert places, I saw her at Wingate. She was by herself. Now, my Brooklyn folks know what Wingate is. It was a free concert. Unfortunately, she didn't do any music that she was known for. And unfortunately, it wasn't a really good concert at all. I felt her either depression or sadness when she performed in Brooklyn at Wingate, and I was thinking, what happened? Like, what? I want to hear Miseducation. I love. I have to tell you guys, this is one of my favorite CDs. I could play this from the first track to the last one. That track with D'Angelo, Nothing Even Matters. This was my joint. Oh my gosh. And you know what? I totally forgot about this. Kevin, thank you for letting me know. She appeared on Nas's first single, If I Ruled the World. That was her vocals on that. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. That is amazing. Yes, and yeah, and Fergie's talking about that was fire. We were fans. We were fans of Lauryn Hill, guys. We love what the Fugees brought. Well, we're excited. They're coming back and they're going on tour. I think they're going on dates either to 10 to 15 cities. They come to Chicago. They'll be here November 2nd and they skip all around. And I think their two international dates are in France and in the UK. So, my friends who are over in London, you guys love the Fugees. You guys will get a chance to see Lauryn Hill, Pras Mitchell, and Wyclef Jean. Let me just not always talk about Lauryn. We give a lot of shine to Lauryn. Wyclef was a wonderful producer. Do you all remember that track from what was that? Destiny's Child. When they first came out, there was a track they came out with called No, No, No. And I believe Wyclef remixed it, put a little guitar to it, and then before we realized it, we was jamming with Destiny's Child. And this was, before the drama, before anything that happened, before they had their Supremes moment, Every group sometimes have a Supremes moment. It was wonderful to see what Wyclef Jean did to help with that remix. If you guys can name in the chat some songs that you remember that Wyclef Jean put his hands on and that you really liked. Yes, and I'm telling you this, yeah, Kevin, I'm telling you this was a great CD. I mean, I remember there's a track on here called Zion. This was her first son, I believe. And I believe you all remember Love Jones. I remember Love Jones, and I believe she was pregnant with her first kid in the music video. You guys remember that? Oh my gosh. Yes. I mean, yeah, Kevin's on fire. Next time I think I'm gonna bring Kevin on. That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna bring Kevin on because Kevin is a beast when it comes to knowing about this music. He knows about the music. Say what? But yeah, so the Fugees will be on tour if if we can survive the Rona, we get our little, mass situation together. This is not a mass. This is you know what I'm saying. We get it together, we can go see things in concert. And if the Delta variant has gone away, or has gone down, I will probably find myself checking out the Fugees. So they got together over the weekend. I put some posts on the Facebook group. You guys go ahead and check it on out. Oh my gosh. Well, you know what, guys, to wrap up, we have a great episode of Interludes coming up on tomorrow. Myself and Mike Wamble, we sat down with a film producer. Now, we didn't record that session. We just took the information we got from that film producer and we said, let's talk about it. It's our next steps in making the movie part 2. That's right. Michael and I are about to make a movie, a feature film. It's a lot to do. And I didn't know, and I'm just going to say this. I did not know that people make teasers in order to get funding to get a film. I did not know that. Did anyone know that? If you decide if you want to get a film, you do a teaser. We spoke with Bernadette Speaks about a couple of probably last month, and she mentioned something like a deck. I didn't know what a deck was. What is a deck? So the filmmaking dreams are starting to emerge and come through. And I just, ever so often, we definitely just want to put it out there and let you all know we are a podcasting team, but we are a filmmaking team. And we want to get back to making the films. And that's right. We want to go ahead and have good vibes. Thank you, Kevin, for that. Oh my gosh. So that is dropping on tomorrow. Tomorrow. I'm just saying it's wonderful. It's dropping on tomorrow. Our making the movie part 2. And we talk about what is needed for doing a film. We got that information from this film producer. He has been a guest. Can you guess who that is? He has been a guest on our podcast. He had a movie that came on, The Mysterious Mr. Wisdom, on Amazon Prime. Well, guys, he went ahead and is getting ready to be re-released. And he's got some other things coming down the pipeline. He'll be coming back to the podcast to talk about those things because everything is still in the works. Everything is still in the works. I'm loving this compliments. Thank you so much, CB. It's CMB. CMB. We all we got. That's me and him. That's me and Corey. We Hi, Carolyn. I love his fiance, Carolyn. What's up? But yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, yeah. Teasers can get you some film money, Mr. Springer. I didn't know that, man. I didn't know that before my meeting. So we just sharing some good information on this podcast, guys. We love it for the filmmaker, for the creative, for the person that has their business. They're being the CEO of their lives. If you've written something, and we've definitely had our people that have YouTube channels. I'm a big fan of BK Apologist, aka Fredo. Please go ahead and support him. We had Crescenda Jones. She is a life coach, and she was our last podcast. I was grieving and said, girl, I want to talk to you about grief and what's going on with that. So we talked about that too. I'm going to put it in the chat and let you all know that full episode of myself and Michael talking about Fugees is going to premiere on our YouTube channel right now at about 20 minutes. It premieres in 20 minutes. So I'll see you in the chat with that. But this live part here is wrapping up and over. Oh my gosh, Kevin, thank you so very much. I am grateful to share this journey with you guys because I know ultimately when the film comes out, you are going to be the ones to support. Myself and Mr. Springer, good gracious, we used to do a lot of movie nights, especially over in Jersey, the drive-in. What was it? The dine-in movie theaters. That's what we used to do. And that was so much fun. Love to you and Anita. I thank you so much for coming on and supporting, guys. Oh gosh, yeah. CB Spike Lee. That's right. He is definitely one of my inspirations. He's definitely an inspiration for Mr. Wamble, Michael. So it is what it is. So guys, I'm signing off. Thank you so very much for joining me on tonight. You know what? It is what it is. I'm excited about what is about to happen with this film. And we're just getting our questions answered. We're just getting started. We just getting started. I'm Val Johnson. Thank you so much for joining me for Interludes Extra. It's extra. Talk on Tuesday. You guys have a great one. Take care. Here we go.